In the history of this channel, we've reviewed quite a lot of different mobile networks, and these videos always have one thing in common: people complaining about their provider's customer service in the comments. So today, we're going to put the networks to the test. We're going to get in touch with their customer support teams to see how helpful they are. No, that's wrong. Vodafone, what are you doing? Oh, sneaky. What the hell? What? Before we begin, if you want to change networks, you can do that at greensmartphones.com. Just click on the link to our website in the pinned comment and click on SIM-only deals up the top. Here, you can view the cheapest data contracts from all of the major networks, as well as the smaller providers. And if you want a contract with a phone, we have a heap of deals available with a handset in the smartphone section over here. Right, so I should explain what we're going to do. So the first thing is, we're just going to test the big four networks today, so that the video doesn't end up being like an hour long. What we're going to do is ask them some questions about buying a SIM. The other thing worth noting is we have to do this over live chat. It's illegal to record and then share phone calls, so I can't do that. So I'm going to pretend to be interested in a SIM deal, and I have some devious little questions to ask them. Okay, so the first challenge is going to be actually finding the live chat on these websites. 3 is normally pretty good about saying like, oh, do you need help buying this? But still, it can be a bit tricky to actually get in contact with a person. Okay, 3, this flawless logic here. See if I can find the right word to trigger this. So I'm just going to try and get to a person before giving it any information about what I need help with. And this bot, I mean, come on. Can you let me know if you're a new or existing customer? Up here I said, no phone number, don't have one. New customer, and then it triggered that, and then it like had a second look at it and it was like, okay.
It says nah.
I don't really know why it's asking for this. Didn't it already say it was transferring me to someone? Yeah, it said, it like prompted me to talk to someone real, and then now the bot is just asking me all these questions. Okay, I got connected to 3 in just over, I think it was 2.5 minutes. So also worth noting at this point, I think 3 is the only one of the big 4 that outsources their customer support to another country. O2 might. I'll fact check that here. Okay, so he wants to set up a few, I guess, sales questions. I'm going to see if I can just push through that and see if he'll just let me ask what I actually need help with. So I'm going to begin with the very easy question about keeping your number. In case you didn't know, this is quite straightforward. You just need to request a PAC code from your current provider. So if you're considering buying a new plan on greensmartphones.com, you don't need to worry about losing your number when you change networks. What is this obsession with getting my 3 number? I think they want to know who I am so they can sell to me more effectively or something. Okay, so he's not being very direct. I'm okay with this actually. He first said to call 3 and have them sort of guide you through the process, or get on chat again. And then he's got a little blurb about getting a PAC. If you're less knowledgeable, I don't mind them having, like, encouraging you to call them to help guide you through that process. My one criticism of this is it could be a bit confusing. He hasn't really explained what a PAC code is. But it is good that this is the first piece of advice, because then you can just call them and have them guide you through the process. Okay, so he's passed the PAC code test. So his next question brings me on to something I was going to ask them anyway. I was going to give them a postcode with no signal and see how they responded. This is a postcode where EE does have coverage, but with the other big 3, it's just 2G, or sometimes maybe 3G, but they're switching that off anyway. So this is like an honesty test, basically. So I just gave him the postcode and realized I already gave the chatbot the postcode. Definitely negative points for asking all this information that you're not actually going to use. Okay, I don't think he's actually checked the postcode yet. Let's see what happens when he does. Okay, he's copy-pasted the raw sort of response. It'd be good to have like an explanation of what that means, in case I don't know. But it's good he's not trying to hide it or anything. Okay, that's a very interesting response. So they don't want the SIM card business, but they want to see if they can sell 5G or 4G home broadband on it. Why would they want to do that if there's no 4G signal at the address? I think he wants the house number because he thinks that that might throw it on the edge of some coverage area or something. Okay, so I want to ask him a final difficult technical question about my phone. So the S21 FE is not eSIM compatible. Don't ask me why Samsung decided an S21 phone shouldn't be eSIM compatible when the S20 is. And the phone is only dual SIM compatible in some geographies. Most of the phones sold in the UK have dual SIM, but in some countries it wasn't enabled in software, and in other places it didn't even come with a dual SIM slot. So I'm going to give them bonus points if they say to check the device, in case I, as the customer, bought a single SIM version from another country, or I just happened to end up with one of the single SIM ones in the UK. So that's a bit disappointing from 3 here. I would have preferred they have me check the phone, or asked where I bought it, just to make sure. But we'll see if the other providers do this any differently. Okay, that's better from Vodafone. I didn't have to go through a mindless repeating of information with their bot to get through. Okay, again, Vodafone has performed pretty well here. I got connected in less than a minute. It's also worth mentioning Vodafone has UK support. I'm not 100% sure their live chat is this location, but I think it is. We need some commas and some full stops in this response. I don't want to roast this guy too hard, but surely if it's your job to type out these responses on live chat, you can put a bit of punctuation in there. It's sort of a bit similar to 3, they want to control the process. I don't mind that too much. Again, like if you have no idea what PAC codes are, then it can be helpful to have your hand held through the process. The one thing I've noticed so far is 3 and Vodafone are both very responsive to each message here. Probably because I'm coming in as a new customer. I'll give him like a 5 out of 10 for this explanation. He hasn't explained where you get the code from, and the lack of punctuation kind of makes it a bit hard to read. For me at least. Let me know if you feel the same way. Okay, so he got there in the end with the PAC stuff. The explanation could be a bit more clear, but he's pushed to go through like their process to get this all set up, calling Vodafone or getting on their live chat, which is the same as what 3 did really. And I don't mind that because it's probably a bit easier if you have no idea what you're doing. Okay, so we're throwing the same S21 FE question at him, just looking to see if he'll get me to check for the dual SIM slot or ask. Just make sure I bought it in the UK, or make sure that it's dual SIM. No, that's wrong. Vodafone, what are you doing? Has he checked? Because even if you just Google this, you get these posts clearly saying that it doesn't. And that's an American forum, fair enough. If you Google UK, you get the Samsung forum, and it clearly says it wasn't supported. Negative marks for Vodafone there, definitely. Okay, so he's been honest about the coverage. I want to see if he backs off or what he suggests here. So if he does this correctly, he's going to find that EE has good 4G. Okay, so he's not allowed to suggest another provider. He's just going to wait for 4 minutes and put the postcode into all the other checkers, and he would have seen that EE has good 4G. But he can't recommend EE, which I guess makes sense. But marks for honesty there. Okay, like Vodafone, it's easy to just come to the live chat here. I just clicked it and nothing happened. Oh, there it is. What is going on? I just have this robot just spraying confetti everywhere. I'm not being prompted. What is going on? I'm not connecting to anyone. It's twice as fast to find a response by chatting here. I was just waiting with nothing happening for like a whole minute. Wait, what? Agent is typing. Is this a real person now? Why would the bot be typing? Okay, at least it didn't ask for like my date of birth, my street address, my NHS number like 3 did. Okay, this is a bad response. I'm asking how to keep my number, not can I. Okay, once they got the idea, I had no idea what a PAC was. They provided a response which is similar sort of to what 3 and Vodafone did. They're just saying to call them or get on the live chat, which, like I said, is good. Again, I've just noticed I have to dodge a question about what type of SIM deal I'm looking for. This exact thing happened on Vodafone as well. Pushing for the sale. Okay, let's see if they understand that. Again, they're pushing towards an eSIM. Just gonna ask kind of follow-up to make sure. O2, what are you doing? No! I get that most people would think an S21 phone is eSIM compatible, but shouldn't you be Googling it just to make sure? Okay, and finally the coverage question. So O2 are much more willing to take my business, it seems. Surely this is against like some sort of rule. What's this B doing here? This implies you get like a 2 gigabit connection. So I'm going to play stupid and see what happens. I do not like this at all, O2. You should be telling me that this is bad, like 3 and Vodafone did. Oh, sneaky. What the hell? This looks copy-pasted from somewhere. Where, what? What? Where have they got this? No way she just typed that. She has copied text from Vodafone's 2G benefits glossary. Oh my god. Even though 2G is slower than 3G, 4G and 5G when it's first introduced, it had a huge number of benefits. It's the same text. To clarify, I don't mind copy and pasting information, but I have a problem with O2 implying that their network is fine at this postcode. Vodafone and 3 both handled this a lot better. So EE, we're going to have to handle a bit differently. They only provide a live chat for existing customers. So I'm going to have to call them, but I can't share the conversation. I'll just have to summarize it. Now, given the failures of the other 3 providers so far, I'm looking at you, O2, there's a pretty big opportunity for EE to come in here and just win.
Later.
So I just got off the phone with EE. They were about 6 or 7 out of 10 on the PAC code question. He just basically said you need a PAC code, and then I had to ask what that was. There was a bit of prompting required on my end, just to get to the point where I, as a layman, would have understood what a PAC code actually does. So not the best there. With the S21 FE, they performed a lot better. He basically said that both SIMs would work if the phone was dual SIM compatible, and then I'd have to check. And this is really good. He didn't just assume that the phone was dual SIM compatible. He made sure that I'd have to go and check it. I then said something along the lines of, I've heard you can also do eSIM with these. And he said, yes, you can. So he didn't go and check that this phone was eSIM compatible. He assumed it was, like Vodafone and O2 did. On the coverage question, he did a lot better than O2 did, which isn't a very high bar to clear. He just said, yeah, the signal's pretty bad here. And then he tried to upsell me on broadband, which I sort of expected from EE, especially over the phone. Just to clarify, I gave EE a different postcode because the other one had good EE 4G coverage, just no coverage on the other 3 networks. And when they had this dud postcode, he didn't try and sell me a plan like O2 did. I still just cannot believe O2 did that. Okay, originally I was planning to end this with data, especially a measurement of response times, but it looks like if you're a new customer, you're not going to have any problem getting through to people and getting quick responses. The biggest delay I think was with 3, and it was like 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes to get connected, but everything was basically instant, including EE picking up the phone. So apart from that, I'm having a bit of trouble picking a winner. Every single one of them made mistakes with the phone, and didn't bother to look up the technical details they needed. They're also all pretty pushy with the upsells and stuff, and O2 pushing through terrible signal to still sell was just insane to me. So I think O2 loses this, but let me know who you think won. If you're a customer of one of the big 4, let me know what their customer service is like in the comments. If you're looking to change network, you can do this at Green Smartphones. Just go to greensmartphones.com, which is the link in the description, and click on the phone you want to buy. Then you can filter by networks you're interested in joining, and you can also click more details here to view the network coverage map and see what sort of speeds they offer where you live. And if you just want a SIM-only deal, click SIM-only up here, and you can view the cheapest data contracts on the market at the moment.